because what I found going back and looking, I did a lot of the white belt, come in on the collar tie. We fought for inside, but we did a lot of this back and forth.
Okay.
And so I just need to work on entering the collar tie, and then as soon as I hook in, I need to start moving side to side.
Yep.
I need to whipping the head, getting my inside controls, but moving, getting my lateral movement is what I need to work on.
You're gonna be right here, and you tell me if this is gonna work. What I've done with Kai is when he does this, and he starts walking back, I say, instead of walking back, you take it out of his. So I'm just gonna drive, but not drive hard.
Right.
And what I want you to do is, as soon as you feel me getting to the edge, spin me around.
Okay.
That way you're gonna work on redirecting me, but then you determining whether we go left or right.
Okay.
You make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll still try to pummel in for the inside or something. Does that help?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to fix it. When you make the same mistake over and over again, even if I'm not, and I don't think this, I'm not trying to insult you or anything.
No.
I'm trying to get in my head rather than pushing back in to focus on moving that side to side motion.
And that's why I suggest that, because I'm going to grapple for jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I'm not a wrestler. I want you to use your wrestling
Right.
against me.
Well, and so it's just a matter of fixing the mindset. And again, it's been 30 years since I've
For sure.
wrestled, so it's just trying to wake some of that stuff up.
Okay. So is this going to help you? Should
I think so.
change a little level, but
If you
not
want to do
shoot?
some level change, because again, that's part of why I'm trying to keep this elbow in is to block that level change shot. Because, and that's one of the things that I love about being able to drive that in, is I come here, it opens up, and then I can work my headlock.
So I think the circle is going to help too, unless you want to do lateral movements.
No, this is fine.
Okay.
Because the nice thing about the circle is, I'll be able to watch later, how much did I go out? How much did I, it's center-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's center.
Burp.
Yeah.
That over is good. I'm almost thinking when you do that, go to second.
What's that?
Go to second. Once you get that overhook, make it a habit. If you can get me to overhook, I feel like you're missing out too. Give me a nice little snap.
Okay.
You could try to drive into the guillotine. I think if you snap me down and get me all fours, take it back.
Right.
We'll just go do that overhook. And snap down. Sprawl. Maybe not a snap down, but sprawl.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's that split second you're missing, where you can just take
Double under drive.
For sure.
Sorry about that.
No, not that way. Go this way.
Okay.
You can even drive.
So, I've been working at attacking the back. Side control is a good spot for me. Got a lot of back attacks, and I'm not getting to the back.
So with that one, when you get there, instead of driving me to my side, think of getting that trailing knee in my hip pocket.
Okay.
And just get your knees on me. So as you're here, you get that over, get the left knee right there, yeah. And just get there. So depending on what I do, if you ride this knee on my side, if I go this way, you're gonna ride that seatbelt. If I go this way, get the hook.
Right.
So if I go this way, roll, boom. So you're leading with the knees.
Okay.
Because this knee hooking on the same side with your trail knee, I feel it's powerful.
Okay.
So you want to get those knees in the love handles. A little bit nice and slow, you guys snap that. Big knee. Yeah. See if I help me. It doesn't help me. So I'm gonna do you like this. You drive. I'm just kind of hooking here, trying to stay back.
So even if I go back there for me?
So I'm trying to lead here. I want you to end up here.
So even if I tuck in here and I drive down,
My knees leading.
yeah. You're still there, okay.
So whatever position you get in, think. See, even try to get your shin on the thigh, and your let's see, and get your knee, your right knee up here, right there. So
I'm just hesitant to
no, you're good.
shift back.
You're good because
Maybe if I go to there.
right there. So now you're gonna feel my shoulder. If I go this way, if I go that way, I'm gonna roll over to our right shoulder.
Okay.
Tuck your head, tuck your chin. Lead with the knee. It gives you this hook. It gives you that trailing back. Just to get to that. Scrambling. If I go this way, that way. Now this time I'm going to go into you. This knee is all you need. It's almost like your natural movement now.
Yeah.
The only difference, we'll keep drilling this. If I go hard post and I commit on all four, break down one of the legs, drive, I might have to scramble out of there.
Well, and
Like if I just go here, I'm like, fine. You know what to do. You can do all kinds of things with it.
I can start working my leg right.
Yeah, you can feel the difference between this and you trying to be mobile, like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I just double down and say I'm going to be safe, do the leg right. I'm not going to do that, but knowing that they're going to feel your wrestling come up. Make that habit of grabbing my shoulder instead of going to the chest. It's not wrong. It's just
So I felt like I was back here.
it felt to me. It felt like here.
Yeah, I think
And
I'm.
then you adjusted to there.
Oh, okay.
So you did. You started here, but
Oh no. So I started here to there,
oh, okay.
and then as you rolled over, that's when I came back to the shoulder, and I started working that, driving that shoulder in.
If anything, keep that underhook deep. Just maybe have it grab in my trap.
Right.
That's the only thing, because if not, then your hand's gonna. You'll see it. I know you'll feel it.
Yeah, I'm just worried about. I would rather grab. I know where my arm is, so if you're down, and especially if you start rolling, if I'm here, if you start rolling, I would rather have a grip on a thing that I know I've got than to try and, especially if I get hung up in your jaw, like if your chin's down, you're doing a good job defending, then I end up on your arm. you pummel away and then I lose that and I don't have,
Okay.
so I can go, like it's seat belt, double wrist seat belt, light.
No, that grabbing the
It's-
elbow too, I understand that one. That one makes sense.
It's the bad side of wrestling.
I can see.
Is I don't wanna
I can see.
lock hands, I don't wanna get a locking hands penalty versus if I go here, it's not locking hands and it's almost that double wrist.
I had to look up the rules, but also you've got a seatbelt, so you're not locking hands with another double under. As long as you're in a seatbelt position, one over and under.
It might be, I'm not sure. I just know that when
I'm asking more than saying.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that when I'm in a down position, I generally don't lock hands at all. I don't let my hands lock. I try and go here,
Yeah.
I try and go there. I would, you
I
know.
like the elbow. That was deep, because if you can get around my barrel chest with that, it's controlling your elbow.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, is if I can get, I feel like this is stronger because I've got the elbows pinching in,
Yeah.
and then I've got to lock in.
And you know what, I like your right shoulder where it's at. I mean, left elbow.
Yeah,
So that's.
so and it allows me to drive in if I'm going,
So if I do go here, and you get this, let's work on, if I start coming in here, I want you to overhook to that 5-0 grip, getting the fatty portion of my hand,
yeah,
right there. And so if I do give you this, now I'm locked. You can transition, once you got that control, you can go right to a choke.
right,
So keep my head up, right?
from here, 5-0 grip.
And then I start going. But literally set up with one hand too.
Yeah, that short choke.
So elbow, 5-0, once you got 5-0, go 12-1, unbag the head, go to Kimura, or go to the choke.
Kimura series, go back triangle series.
Morning, Andrew.
Woo!
That came on quick.
Yeah, I'm liking that short choke. I'm seeing that, I'm finding that a lot more often now. Now that I'm kind of looking for it.
Do you know how to transition once you get it to this short choke? So, get to the camera. Oh, sit right here. Now I'm gonna get on my knees because it's just easier on a
Right.
longer torso. Face the camera. Oh, so, this is what we're playing with right now. Is this is where you're finding yourself in
Yep.
a comfortable position, right? Your head's in good position. So if I can go here and I get that 5-0, this the officer they call Hawaii 5-0,
Yeah, okay.
5-0 grip. Boom. Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Boom. So here I'm fighting and I'm feeling comfortable. I get you to the choking side. What I'll do is I'll show you in the video. I end up with my forearm on
Got
the
it,
shoulder
yeah,
blade, palm up, and I'm gable gripping here. What I'm actually trying to do is flick my wrist so that my elbow comes forward on your chin.
Got it.
And I'm-
In your
Yeah.
wristing.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to pop your head as much, and I know you know this difference,
Yeah.
but bringing my wrist to my deltoid here, I'm contracting here on the carotid, pushing forward with your head, I'm pushing forward with my forearm on this right
Right.
shoulder blade. So, sorry.
No, you're good.
That's when you know it's good. You get that little. You get to my back. And you get to that little elbow lock, right? And then I'm hand fighting.
So what I've been doing is grab the trap,
Yep.
cover with the chin,
Yep.
and then turn away.
Definitely. Let's see, I'm strong and I'm being stubborn.
Gable grip, meet to meet.
Flick wrist. Yep. Forward hip portion. Ooh.
Yeah, buddy.
And that'll work on your bigger neck.
So
bigger
just
shoulder portion.
there.
Yeah, I'm basically, I'm trying to flick my wrist up, but I'm also driving my elbow into the.
And at the same time, driving the head.
Yeah, so I'm using the connection of my forearm. I'm almost thinking of pushing my elbow through their torso. I'm parallel to their spine. That's allowing me to pull my elbow across and under their chin.
Okay.
Boom. Start where you're finding yourself. Mhm.
Good head pressure there?
For sure. It's controlled all the way through. It goes from, I can get out, it goes from bad to worse.
Okay.
So,
How does it, let me try it on the bad side,
sure.
just to see what it feels like and if it's finishable. There.
I have trouble getting to that short choke finger. I just finish one-handed.
Got it. So just here,
Yeah, because you can't get that elbow out.
got it.
So you're good here. What I want you to do is spider walk your fingers back, forward, head pressure. Let's just walk those spiders a little bit further back like a rock crawl. Yeah, all the way down. I want you to think of just getting under my chin. I'm going to take my chin, forward head pressure. So you can still do a little elbow lateral movement, but it's more of your head forward, making that 90-degree angle on my cervical. C5.
Got it. So there's a
subtle difference.
there's an ear-to-ear thing there.
Yeah. So the cross, this works. This definitely works.
Right.
But if I'm stuck here, I don't have much movement.
Got it. So there's a lot of that as you drive the head in to go ear to ear.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just something I don't know who the hell taught that.
Yeah.
But if you drive the ear to ear, it pushes this shoulder and it forces the head in.
And think of it, in Brazil, what they always talk about is, I didn't know this, but they said the C5,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's the 90-degree angle. So it doesn't really matter so much
As long as the
even
crowd.
if your chin's down inside there, I'm trying to get that 90-degree angle.
Yeah. That fucking sucks.
And it sucks, yeah.
You wanna try it?
We'll jump in. What are we doing?
It's a short choke. So, come in, fight the hand. So you're going as if you're going for the rear naked choke,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of having this other arm, because let's say I've got cross wrist control and I'm fighting this,
Mm-hmm.
drive this elbow across, walk the hands back, take your chin on top of your own hand. You're gonna try and get this ear to my ear. So just drive it.
I'm gonna make some adjustments, but that isn't good. But when you adjust it, you go to that single hand choke, and you get that a little bit with the left hand. Okay. I want you to think of a rock climber. Use this scapula like a ledge. And he's extended out. When you grab the fatty portion of his hands right there, I want you to feel the difference between there and then now grab his wrist. If he tries to tricep extend down, don't hold it so tight.
Yeah.
Now hold his hand, same little loose tight. Is a little bit of play in that wrist.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to think of that with that 5-0 grip. With this, when you adjust to bring your elbow forward, you instinctively let your hand out and then drove it down deeper. What I want you to do instead is think of putting your temple towards his ear. So that way it is ear to ear, but you're really driving your temple towards his nose through the back of his head.
Well, so I'm trying to get his head forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you're gonna give it just enough. I want you to spider walk this, keeping in connection. And as you're doing that, I want you to think of bringing your elbow across as you're walking this down his back. Now, temple forward to his nose. Crunch forward with your body. So this is the difference we can feel. See how they go. So what Brendan was doing, he was getting in the back, and he was locking on his elbow because he's a wrestler. So he's trying not to do a body lock. He just let that happen. So he's trying to do this. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start fighting this, right? So what I'll do is I'll do 2-1. I get that 5-0 grip, and I want to get right here. So if you start fighting this, I'm gonna walk this forward, walk this forward.
So that sucks.
So what I'm doing here, without doing the tight constriction, I'm trying to bring my wrist over to my shoulder through your neck. But then I'm just making that neck go 90 degree over my elbow.
Are you still trying to get the crook of your elbow underneath his chin like in a rear naked?
I am, but the difference here is I'm not letting go to go deeper.
Oh.
Right here, your chin is tucked, your hand fighting. So I'm just walking. Give you enough room to let me choke you.
Yeah. You can't stop that finger walk.
Not much. Not much.
And then what we were talking about is when you get stubborn people, try not to curse, it doesn't really matter what you got, but so I'm here, we're playing the game. And he's real stubborn. and he's got his chin tucked in. I don't have his hand, I don't have this, I can't rock crawl anymore, he's really pulling on my wrist, he's trying to get to the fatty portion of my thumb. He's fighting with this left hand of his. So I'm gonna keep my head connected, but I'm not pushing forward. I'm gonna pull this out, driving my head forward. I've never let go of any, I didn't create any space, I kept this tight, I don't think he felt me adjust, other than forward pressure, connected, chest to back. I'm exaggerating this movement, but I'm really just going.
And it's all I can do to not fucking tap right there.
And if he gets his hand in under in a defensive position under his neck, and I'm here and I can't get it, I can still kind of dig through it and still try.
So you're doing a gable grip and you're using your opposite forearm as leverage.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily bringing this, I'm not curling my bicep. I'm using this as leverage to pry my hand back, just bringing my elbow
And
across.
if you just watch, if I'm here, when I roll that over, the triangle that you're working with,
Oh yeah, I think it's so
Small.
much smaller.
And so I'm thinking of bringing my wrist to this front of my shoulder.
and
So
at the same time, I'm going from here to there, I'm bringing my chin forward, so I'm trying to wrap and use my chin and neck to pry. I want to pry this in, and I want to pry the head forward.
A head forward is like, I've never seen that before.
So it's instead of popping off the Barbie doll's head, we're compressing, making my neck, making 90-degree angle around your hand. So here I'm gonna hand fight, you don't have this, I got this. I just want you to spider walk that down my shoulder blade. And at this time, you're trying to get this over, you're trying to get, see, you're still on my wrist, I want you to get right there.
Okay.
But I'm gonna hand fight you, and as you're fighting with this, I want you to walk this hand back. And then you're gonna pull out your right arm.
Is this hand up top?
Just like that. Yep.
Yep. And now what you wanna do is curl your right wrist towards,
And drive that head forward.
and drive your head forward, and this wrist is gonna come up, this elbow is gonna come across, and push forward with your temple, left temple, keep going, keep going.
Is this a choke or is it a
It's a choke. So here, let me
Let me choke you.
choke you. So, again,
You
I'm
can
here.
get a cross trachea choke, I know
I'm
you're
there.
asking, but
You grab my hand, so I'm not gonna be able to get that naked, but I come here. And so I can,
one
I'm
hand.
trying to keep my ear to ear pressure there. I slip my hand out. I come here. Now without my head in place, it stops you choke.
Okay, I feel it.
But from here, without using my wrist, I just do that head pressure, and that was just a touch.
Yeah.
Feel a difference there?
Yeah.
So I'm not crunching as much, I can, and I'm not popping the head.
And
more.
It's more like a,
the amount of strength used when I push the head forward, I mean, I don't have to be stronger in my arm. I can just use that little bit of core, a little bit of wrist, lot of head. And it just goes, wink.
And the difference is between what you're asking is, am I doing a cross trachea?
yes, exactly.
And what I'm trying to show you is that we're not doing that so much as we're bringing it in. And then I'm compressing this down. So what you usually feel some people is this, I'm choking, right? And you can usually survive. What I'm doing is I'm taking up the space with this. As I crawl over, my elbow, I want you to put your hand on my elbow just so you can feel where my elbow is. It kind of comes over towards your chin.
Yeah.
So when I'm deep here, I know I'm good, I can connect right here. And I can bring my elbow to my shoulder, or, sorry,
That's okay.
or,
The room's already getting dark.
or if you're hand fighting and grabbing my hand here, end of the lever, right? You're gonna try to grab the end of the lever, and I can't get any further, I'm bringing my wrist over my shoulder, I'm bringing my head forward. That little subtlety, so putting all those three things together. Walking brings my elbow in line with your center line, hopefully. But if I can't, I'm stuck here. I get here, I'm gonna bring my wrist to my front of my deltoid, and I'll push forward with my head.
Show me the walking thing. You said grab the scapula. What do you mean by that?
So scapula, flap bone
This is
right
your
here.
shoulder blade.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
scapula.
there's the little muscles that you can feel. On everybody, you can feel where the shoulder blade has this little ridge below the collar.
Yeah, so the scapula, we think of it as flat, but there's actually a ridge.
Yeah, there's a little blade up there.
So this is the suprascapular muscle, this is the subscapular muscles. So that ridge allows the scapula to move up and down. It's not just a single flat plate.
A lot of times we end up in this seatbelt position, but my hand's compromised to choke. Or we'll end up here in this hand position where I call it like the Roman soldier. But if I can just make a habit to go here, I'm kind of grabbing the trap. I'm already setting this up where I'm hand fretting here. I'm keeping my head down, my chin, and I feel this. Once I feel that little rock climber ledge on this,
Yeah.
he's gonna go, oh shit. And he might get enough leverage to pull me back down. And that's when I bail on this, and I just double down. I'm not trying to get any pain complaints as much as I'm trying to frame here. It gives me the opportunity to curl my forearm when I'm pulling this. This is gonna bring my hand forward, I hope.
Yeah.
But let's say he's got 2-on-1 on this hand, and I kick here, fuck it, I'm just gonna power of wheels, I'm driving forward, my temple, he says ear to ear, right? And that's fine, I know what he means by that. But I think of temple, because I'm trying to drive to his nose, I'm trying to get my eyebrow into his nostrils. I'm coming in closer and closer, I get the tighter to get.
The reason why I think, and again, this was months and months ago, I don't remember it very well. I remember that the thing that whoever was teaching had focused on was, when you get to here, if you get your chin over the hand, then you can almost use your chin and neck to drive it further in. To use that, you've got your hand here, you're torquing your wrist, but if you're here, you're also, it sets all of the right mechanics to closing that loop. Makes your arm just a little bit stronger, because instead of I'm using my sternocleidomastoids to drive and pull it in.
Represent your muscles in the front.
Yeah,
right?
these are the sternocleidomastoids.
What do you do for a living, Brian?
I used to be a nurse.
Assassin.
Okay. Hey, you know way too many medical terms. Not be something in medicine.
I used to be a nurse, long, long way and far, far ago.
So just make sure you stay away from his areolas. And choke right in, try to feel it, just feel it. You're not going for the finish, you're going for control and position. Tell my wife I'm funny all the time. So I feel like you're still pulling your elbow this way.
You're opening up.
I want you to relax. I want you to crunch forward, move forward. Your whole body. I want you to move your shoulders forward. And I want you to walk this down towards where you're going to be my fingers. This finger's going to touch my finger.
Much better.
And now, now I want you to pull forward, crunch forward, with all your body.
Oh, so I'm not coming here and going like this. I'm not trying to pull my elbows back. I'm actually trying to close the. Got it.
So what I would do right now, get on your knees. Don't worry about the hooks right now. This way you're higher on his back, so your chest to back connection is going to be higher. This is what I have to do with most people.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Short arms, short body.
So, right. So see how your natural instinct is to go here?
Mm-hmm.
I want your instinct, as soon as you get this 5-0 grip and you're still grabbing the wrist, I want your instinct to feel and try to get a little deeper. This is where I want you to be, but make this a habit right here.
Okay.
Make that the habit. So now he's already starting in a deficit. So instead of leaning back, I want you to just maybe raise your chin so you can make room for his head, but your body's still curved and crunch forward. Your shoulders are rolling forward over your shoulder. And then once you start applying the spider walk, forward pressure with the head.
That fucking sucks. So you're still keeping this elbow, you're still drawing that elbow
So let's
back.
relax. We're not going to choke. What I want you to do is bring that forward. Bring this. So instead of touching your hand, I want you to be on that shoulder. And I want you to think of compressing this part of your wrist to the inside of your shoulder where my fingers are. That's all I want you to do.
Okay. Try with my right hand. I usually choke with my right hand. So from here, always try to get to here.
Yep. Now look at where your left hand overhook is.
Yep.
And even here, you're still on the shoulder. I want you to think of coming to this shoulder. That brings your elbow up. You're still bringing that elbow forward. What I want you to do is think of when you go here. the deeper towards the spine you go, the more your elbow's gonna rotate this way.
Oh, okay.
And if you have trouble doing that, I don't want you to disconnect your chest to the back. Elevate your head away, walk this in a little bit, and you're walking down, 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 down. And now you can re-engage your temple. And then forward, keep the elbow where it's at. Forward with your head, move his head forward. That's all I want you to do. You're still going a little bit louder, but don't worry about it. You're good. So I'm gonna have you feel it. So, difference between here, my natural body motion is going to go this way, my elbows going to go shoulder to shoulder. Here,
Ooh, that was close.
what was that? Did you go to sleep?
No, there was, he let go, and then it was like,
You're in a dream.
okay, boy, that was fucking close.
We'll watch it on video. So don't get so frustrated as far as you're not getting it, as far as it's still going to work.
Okay.
Okay, so the only difference is it's we always have two habits. One to do this, and one to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing that, what I want to do is try to, if I can't walk anymore, I can't do that anymore. That's as far as my little arm is going to go. Now I create a little bit of space. I'm trying to crunch, my compress, and I'm going forward. So I'm bringing my elbow into your sternum, and then I'm going forward.
How are you getting the left, like, it's not a curl, right?
Now, what I'm doing is I'm using this connection on my fingers
Mm-hmm.
to try to drive my wrist into my shoulder.
But when you do that, how are you doing it without that elbow going this way?
So I'm not rotating my elbow this way. I'm basically, I'm doing this.
So there's a little bit of a curl.
It's a curl, but it's not like I'm not shoulder rolling.
Yeah.
I'm not shoulder rolling at all. So, yeah, I guess it is a curl. It's a hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Kind of doing this.
Okay.
I think I'm bringing this wrist to my shoulder. Because when I do this, then it misaligns the chin.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to be up in here.
Okay.
And just do it one hand. Let's just think of getting deep. Yep. And then keep going. Once you feel like you're getting enough, you've taken all the way space,
Mm-hmm.
I can feel like I'm gonna go to sleep. If I don't, now I want you to do a little forward, no, with this same pressure,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go forward head pressure, and I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna do the ABCs, and when I stop saying ABCs, that's when you let go. That's when I should count. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So, you didn't exert a lot of force, what you did is you gave me forward head pressure.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't this, because we always want to go, my fucking lats are going to tear your head off. It's this positioning that frames here, and then the forward, you're driving the head forward so that the carotids are kind of compressed right there.
When your hand, when you get your hand over,
Mhm.
you're trying to get your hand flat and you're trying to get your wrist over.
So I'm just like, basically, if I'm him,
Mhm.
my hand's here, ideally. If I can get here and that deep, that's great, because then I'm just walking it back. So I'm thinking here, instead of here on the front of the shoulder, I'm on the trap. I'm shooting for the trap.
Okay.
Ooh. I got to see. It doesn't hurt, but when I can no longer exhale to speak, that's when I'm constricted.
Yeah,
Keep going, keep going.
So, and I understand what he's saying. What I like about the chin pressure, especially one-handed, is it keeps my head in tight
You're closing the loop with your chin and your head.
and just grabbing.
A, B, C, D, E, F, H, I, J, K.
So it's almost a grip.
No, are you,
But-
are you left-handed?
I'm not.
Why are you guys choking with your left arm?
My right shoulder hurts.
Okay.
So, honest, and I have a left-handed son.
Okay.
One of my kids is left-handed, the other three are right-handed. So it's natural for me to do things right-handed, to come here,
Yep.
and then go there, and then go here, and just work all of that. It's not as natural. And the other thing is
It's good to work opposite sides.
right,
Yeah.
if I can do it both sides, then I could teach all my kids.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that especially one of the things that wrestlers do is every wrestler has the same right foot forward stance. So they get their penetration step, they drive in, they go from the right side. Everybody does that. But if I'm from here, if you sprawl the wrong way,
Yeah.
if you're so used to sprawling for right-handed wrestlers, and then circling up, if you sprawl the wrong way, I'm shooting left side,
Yep.
you're sprawling into my shot,
Yep.
and I can take you down easy.
There was really no reason why
I
we
shoot
did
left
left-handed.
footed too.
Yeah.
I do. It's from fighting.
Yep. Set up for strike.
Yeah, so the reason why it doesn't matter if we go left-handed or right-handed. We're going here, and what he's gonna do is go to the choking side. So usually, as we're transitioning, I already know that I can't get this hand up, so I use this foot to flare over. And if he knows that I'm gonna try to, this is his opportunity to escape, he might try to lean forward, and that's when I overhook, and I go to the side. And I try to end up here. And if I don't have this top hook, I just step on my ankle here, but I have this.
Mm-hmm.
So as he tries to fight and escape and walk away, like Three Stooges walk away, I have this choke already.
Gotcha.
So it's not that I don't attack with that overhook left side seatbelt, it's just that I sometimes use it because they're effectively used to breaking this grip, and whatever side he goes to, I can just, I'm already fighting that. I'll just go to short choke right here.
Yep.
You know, and if he gives me that chin, I'm just gonna crank his neck. I'm gonna get a hopefully a crank. If he doesn't want to give me the underhook under his chin. So yeah, they both work.
I'd rather get choked than get cranked. I hate getting cranked.
Well, I get it, but it's like I tell the kids, I'll hear the kids say it. That's great. Did your job.
Yeah, true.
How many points is submission? 0. Why? Because you win. So I mean, we could discuss these things. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I get it.
Yeah.
But is it bad grappling or jiu-jitsu?
Oh, I think it's great. I just hate having it done to me. I'm okay with chokes. I hate cranks.
Well,
My jaw hurts the next day.
towel. You're right, because you're being stubborn.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be stubborn to fight and learn your defense, you're gonna get hurt. But you want to fight. Like to me, like I feel comfortable getting choked, even though I know I'm gonna pass out when he's got that. I do the ABC so you can hear me not breathe. Because I'm gonna want to tap before, even though I try to write it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tell people do ABCs and let it go when they start. You can audibly hear that they're no longer able to do that.
That's a real. I've never seen that before. That's awesome.
I make a lot of this stuff up.
And that's good though, because like sometimes I'm choking and I'm like,
You don't know.
yeah, is it good?
There's no immediate feedback on that.
No.
But I think of it because I'm always thinking of teaching the kids, but it also translates to the adults. So if I do it to you again, this time I'm gonna have hooks, and you're gonna just do a little 50% speed. You're gonna do your natural defense to it. You're gonna feel, I'm gonna try to get you to the choking side, and you're gonna do whatever you want as far as defending, blocking the choke. Got my hand. Get here. You can see why I might have to transition that left hand choke.
Yeah, you can't even stop that. I put my chin down and just went right through it.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying, and it's a false sense of security. Sometimes if you get somebody who's strong enough to just go right through both your hands, I've gotten choked. I choke myself. I'm trying to watch TV or do the prayer or whatever they call it, and then I just choke myself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I've been choked in my hand before. Very humble.
What we did work, you gotta leave it at 30, or is that?
No, I can stay. I can stay today.
Okay, so what he and I did at the beginning, which I think might help you too, because he wanted to work on some wrestling, even though he is a wrestler.
Yes.
So why don't you tell him what you're doing?
So one of the things that I found, I was watching my old tape because I videotape my matches so that I know what I'm doing. And what I was watching is that I was doing a lot of forward back motion, and we were doing this white belt power show, and we weren't moving left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that I wanted to try and focus on these last couple of days is as he's moving in, I'm moving around, and so trying to get the feel of when he's trying to drive, because one of the things that, especially in wrestling, if he's going to try and shoot on me, I have to have inside control.
Mm-hmm.
If I have inside control as he drives in, I can do a snap by, things like that. If I have outside, if he's got inside control and he changes levels, all I've got is my sprawl. And I have to hope my sprawl gets in fast enough that I can get under it. So one of the nice things is when I'm here, we're both here, but I'm fighting for this inside control. So when he's trying to break this grip, a lot of times he'll open that up. And I can get here, I can do my duck as I'm moving around. If he's trying super hard, I can snap by, get it here. Go for my back take, which puts me right in position for that short choke.
I want to learn more wrestling. You wrestled in high school?
Poorly, very, very poor. I was the worst fucking wrestler. I sucked.
It's still better than you never wrestled.
Yeah.
True.
Wrestlers are still nice.
I just don't want, I don't want anybody to think I was a good wrestler.
No, you say a lot, but you can tell I didn't wrestle, but I grappled. There's a difference with me. So I've addressed a lot of wrestlers. The first thing I learned against a wrestler is I just keep my hips away and I frame on the hips. It stuffs them and it keeps me connected so they can't shoot.
Yeah.
But from there, it's a Hail Mary. I stuff a lot of wrestlers that way. You know, they know I'm going to pull guard, so I try to duck under, go to body line. But, so what he was trying to do is allow me, and what I told him I was going to do is we're going to keep in the circle, and I'm going to push into him. I'm not going to try to be lateral, because that's my habit. And what I told my 11-year-old too, if someone's pushing you, instead of taking a step back, take a side step. You can take a stutter step back, but I don't want you to be on the back of the heel. So as I push him back, I want him to almost bullfight around me, cutting the angle. If we're in a gunfight, I come in here, I'm about to shoot. That's all I want him to do. Right? I'm still moving forward. My momentum is not to do this.
Yeah.
My momentum is to drive through like a shark and shit. Now I'm flanked and he's got a better angle on me. And it's the same position we're in this. He's got inside, and if I drive back, now he's all set up to take the back, taking the side control or whatever. I told him where he's at. He kept getting an overhook.
Yeah,
Sat down.
I kept getting to here and trying to go into arm and guillotines and things like that. But realistically, it's not where I'm naturally best at. It's the thing I've been working on, is trying to get more active off my back, be more aggressive off my back. But that's not what I need to be doing in a competition. I don't need to be doing the thing that I'm working on. I need to do the thing I'm fucking good at.
Right.
And if we get into a self-defense situation and you do that snap down, fucking leave the belly, knee to the face.
Oh, God, yeah.
Socket kick to the face. So, same thing, if we're fighting and I know what I'm doing, and I drive, he can take my back or he can do whatever he wants. He can just break around up and disengage.
Yeah.
Right?
You should have those floating roads, for sure. Make you hurt for the next
So-
couple months.
Yeah, I don't, and I was telling him, like, sometimes I get to this position, I feel like I want to barrel through him. But now I've just been kind of getting this trail knee into the thigh, and I put my shin on his thigh. And so that it gives me this position where I get my knee in here, and I try to get my knee close to above his hip pocket, and I call it love handle. He doesn't have them, but I'm saying that's what I'm thinking. So as I come in, before he gets to my legs, I want to get around, and I'm thinking here, I'm under this arm. So all I'm doing is connecting my knee in here into his hip pocket, his front pocket, and this one I'm trying to ride right here. So if he determines to roll that way or this way, I got this underhook control. My hands just follow. I go to the choker and try to start kicking my hips in. So I'm trying to keep my knees on him instead of trying to get my short legs over a big guy. What I end up doing is keep my knee on the ground, and I put my hook here and I lose it. But if I think of, boom, I'm on his back. Let's see, whoa. I'm almost riding like a little koala, a little backpack.
Yeah.
You know, trying to grab you out of that shit. So, but that's a little bit more advanced, but that's from the takedown.
Well, and I've got, so what he was saying is I've got a back injury. So once I get down to here, theoretically I should be able to get my knee over to his hip. If I'm here, I should be able to get there. I just can't. But I can get here, and if I've got this good grip here, then I just kind of have to figure out what he does.
Yeah, you look like a backpack though.
So he's not leading with his hook, he's leading with his knees. So once I go to the side, his knee's already ready for his foot to pummel forward.
And realistically, it helps. As he comes over, if I'm here, whichever direction he goes, he's helping me. If he goes this way, that knee drives forward into it. This knee flops back to the hook. And as I continue, because I'm gonna help him keep rolling so that I can get this hook in. And now I'm going short hook series. Where I can start working this. I can work the arm bars, I can work all of that stuff from the back. If I'm here, I've got my back control. Making chokes.
Nice.
Ooh, that actually came through pretty well. No, I suck at arm bars. God, my arm bars are garbage.
Now again, we're trying to get set up for the choke, but it's really back control.
Yeah.
If you spend the whole match on someone's back, left hand, right hand, get one underhook, switch, get one underhook. And you
Eventually, they make a mistake and you capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And if I
Or
got-
they get exhausted.
Or they get exhausted.
if I got a really big person, sometimes just riding the backpack and doing double underhooks until I can figure out what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something from stand up you can do. Just so you know, I don't know if you want to do it because it's kind of.
Yeah, I want to learn. I don't even know how to get into the position. I don't even
So,
know.
most of the time, we're starting out and we'll play hand fighting. If I can get this wrist, then I'm gonna try and do something like that. We're gonna, do a throw by, or when I go to grab, you're gonna pull that away. And I'm gonna frequently come forward with this, and I'm gonna try and get here. This is where I wanna be. Because I can control your posture, I can run you up, my elbow's in, so if you drive forward, or if you change levels to shoot, so that's where I wanna be. You don't want me to have inside control. A lot of wrestlers will come, I've seen guys that like inside shoulder control, so that, because then they're doing this number, they can do arm drags.
There's a little stutter step where you just go, oh.
So very frequently you'll get collar ties, you wanna meet the collar tie, and then you wanna keep that elbow in tight,
So you can
because
feel pressure like powerful. Fingers are on the opposite, almost grabbing this part of his neck muscle right there. There we go.
and I'm keeping my elbow in tight.
Okay.
If I'm here, then I have to start working other stuff to make you let go. I have to try to break your posture, I gotta move around, I gotta do my duck under. So all of that stuff is a lot harder if you keep that elbow in tight.
And there's a connection on the clavicle, harder if you can't.
And so when I push in, you don't wanna come straight back. You wanna pick a direction, probably that way.
Mm-hmm.
So when I push in, or I go the other way, and then, yep, you're fighting for that inside control, and sometimes you come here. So we're gonna try and stay in circle,
Okay.
and move around, and provide pressure back and
I'll
forth.
show you what you did in the stand over there. So as you drive, you're feeling comfortable doing your keeping your base, but you're still moving back. So it's okay to take one step. Think of it. Okay, that's it. We're gonna shuffle left and right. Shuffle left and right.
So who is one person being the aggressor moving forward, the other person going left, or is it?
Right now, I was working on him, so I was trying to just drive him and let him maneuver me. But what we're gonna do with you, just real quick, standing here, you're gonna keep in the circle. I'm gonna get inside on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to feel that all I'm gonna do is just stay here, and as if you feel me pushing you back, I want you to take a step, either direction, so. Right now, just be real gentle, I just want you to get your combat stance, lower your level. I'm gonna push and just take a step, either side. Okay. In circle. Quick right back, I push, I want you to be behind. Feel the difference on that?
Yeah.
I had it inside, and I'm driving, and I'm at advantage. Instead of you backpedaling with a strong base, slowing yourself down, getting on your heels, allowing me to maybe get a shot. Now you're at least getting an angle. Does that make sense? Is that right?
Yeah. The only other thing I would say is, when you were getting low, so you bent your knees, and then you lean forward. So what I want to do, and it's not something I'm good at, but what I want to do is I want to be low here. I want to have a nice wide enough base. I want my feet generally forward.
Okay.
I want to be fairly wide, but if I go too far into that combat stance, if I go really aggressive with that combat stance, then you set yourself up for a knee or an ankle kick.
I can't even sprawl, please look at
Yeah.
my leg.
I hook it and I just drive forward, and eventually, it's not something like, so an ankle pick is more, if I was just a little bit more flexible, an ankle pick is all the way down here, and it's a lot quicker.
Mhm.
You're at the end of the lever, versus a knee pick comes here, and it's not as sure, but he's gonna fight a knee pick a lot longer. I'm gonna have to chase him into it.
Okay.
Here's the difference that I feel in my back, my lower back whenever I wrestle. Because the bad habit is this, as opposed to head over hips, and this.
Mhm.
Get almost that sumo grip.
Almost a sumo stance, but not quite a little staggered stance.
And-
So I lead with my left.
And being careful, the other thing is being careful with how far your lead legs forward. A lot of people go, they think combat stance, they go, all right,
Really wide.
Yeah.
you know, karate, I'm getting there. Well, if I go like that to him, he's just gonna go, oh, okay, thanks. I'm gonna grab that single. You know, I'm gonna dedicate to that single and pop it.
Okay.
And if you've got that wide stance, all he really needs is 2 hands on that
Mhm.
and to drive me not straight back, but in a little circle, and I end up on my ass.
Yeah.
So if anything, we're used to doing this, whereas we're gonna try to do this,
And the other thing is, look, so just a quick look at his feet. So when he was at his, I'm ready to box, you saw that back foot turn out
Mhm.
for that power cross.
Mhm.
I could push off that. For wrestlers, you need to have that turned in at least to 45, if not closer to that 90, because I need to be able to come here.
So it's more playing defensive back than boxer.
Yeah.
Got it.
And it's more of a boxer stance. So boxers tend to stand very
Yeah.
upright, narrow, and forward.
Mhm.
And so it's just a little bit wider and a lot lower. Yes.
It's like playing defensive back.
Yep.
yeah, and a lot of wrestlers, they'll do this, whereas if they're low, they just,
Yep.
Almost always.
and if I'm moving to my left, it's my trail hand that touches, and my lead foot leads. So if I'm gonna go left, I lead. So I'm trying not to go up and down as much. So if I trail with
Just
if I
like
lead with my trail foot, I'm gonna go up. I can't even do it.
Yep.
But I still have the bad habit of posturing up, but I'm trying to do this. I'm going left.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
And like I was telling him earlier, when it doesn't matter so much when you're a similar skill level,
Mhm.
but having watched a guy who was an alternate, not an Olympic wrestler, he was an alternate on the Olympic team, and literally the difference here to here is sprawl, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And it's that little bit, just having that, oh, I'm sorry, it was the other way. You know, I'm an inch, half an inch higher, I don't have time to get my hips to the ground.
Right.
And because,
Can you be too low?
yes, so if you're here, now I can't move, I have to hop up.
Okay.
It takes that much more time to get up. So it's a balance.
Okay.
It is a balance. And that's why after Kai left, the wrestling practice, a large portion of it was, I think they spent 5 minutes doing this.
Just staying low.
Yep, just,
Because now look at how he's moving, and like I was saying, and he's right, it's more of a lean forward as opposed to hips in.
and so you're just trying to,
As opposed to if I start lateraling, you're naturally kind of grilling up.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is try to stay low, keep your elbows in, and just move like a,
there's a drill for this. It's called Gorilla Walk Chimpanzee Walk.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of flexibility on the hip flexors and strengthening hip flexors, the whole body. So getting your natural good base stance. Now squat straight down and put your both knuckles touching on the ground in front of you. Yep. Now gorilla walk towards me. Oh my gosh. And keep your butt low.
Yeah. And feel that all
Uh-huh.
in here.
And just think about it. Think, oh, today I'm a gorilla. And so you just lay your hands when you get low, as low as you can get, and you want your butt down. And then we're gonna fist forward, and then we're gonna rock, and we pop forward. And keep that hip low. Oh gosh. So, this is another one of those drills that you can just do at home.
Yeah.
And ideally what you want to be, and I'm not there yet, is you want your hands, when they place, you want your ankles to be on either side of your hands. And you're coming forward. And again, so when you're coming forward, you're coming here, you're popping up, you're hopping, and then you're sitting back down. You're trying to keep your butt down as much as possible. So, that's something that you can do at home where the carpeting is.
Yeah.
The other thing is what's called the chimpanzee walk, which is a very similar motion. So we get in basically the same position. Think of that little monkey stance. Now, chimpanzees, when they're just strolling through the forest, they're not as big and strong as a gorilla is, so they're not two fists on big and strong. They're chimpanzees, so they come right hand, left foot. Right hand comes forward, left foot comes same spot. Now watch. Now we're going to do the same thing. Oh, it's so difficult. Because when you were a kid, you used to crawl around, right?
Yeah.
And you could do this all day. Yeah. But now you're an adult, and you sit in a stupid chair. Yeah.
A lot of
You drive a
non-Western,
stupid car.
a lot of non-Western countries can do this because it's part of their relaxed position or their
Yep.
bathroom position.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to do that at home.
And so what is that going to do for you? That's going to stretch your back. It's going to increase strength and flexibility in your back, your hip flexors. As you get better at it, you then start focusing not only on where your hips are, where your legs are, where your hands are, but when you step forward with your foot, instead of just stepping forward like that, you're actually going to lift your toes to a heel-toe step. And it then retightens everything again.
Okay, so it's the next level.
It's the next step forward. It's like Brandon, what's his name, out of Decatur? One of the stretches that allowed me to get my hip flexor up was there's a progression. You start here, you post here, and you pull here, and you stretch the hip flexor. And then you pull your knee into yourself.
I feel it in here.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, this is running down and this is pulling this in the
Oh my gosh, you didn't realize how tight it was.
Then,
We all like.
once you get to where you can pull this all the way forward, this knee comes almost to your chest. Then you switch this hand and you wrap here, grab your own hands, and you pull both of your knees to your chest.
Oh my god. Okay. I know I'm feeling 44 today.
And then you pull that to there and that to there.
And that's stretching out your lower back, your
My
hamstrings, your
back.
glutes, everything.
All my hip flexors.
It's also allowing you to compress this because I can't bring my knee to my chest.
Yeah.
But helps. It's almost like S-curls too, but.
Yep.
Because at 10th plant, that's a lot of movement, so I started doing these. I couldn't do this before.
Yeah.
When I started, I was like in pain, but now I can kind of do this. And I'm trying to bring my knee to my shoulder blade. Because I can't feel a lot of these. This one I can do, but I can't wrap around my feet like he did. You know, so it just helps because it hurts right here for me.
and again, I have herniated discs, L1 to L5, they're fucked. My doctor told me, he said if your best disc was your worst disc, I would say you got a bad back for a guy who's 45. He's like, you have a bad back for 2 that's 80.
Was that an injury or?
Yeah, I mean, I got blown up a little bit, so.
But
So yeah, but where before, when I first started doing jujitsu, this, just getting my foot to my hand and getting this knee up was fucking agony.
Yeah,
In reality, I was doing the pigeon stretch back here
yeah,
and tight.
that's where I am.
so when we can't get on the mats, yeah, I'm sitting, I'm trying to watch TV on my like this, trying to do this, like my desk, just watching TV. Because my knees and my calves are all tight, so I'm just gonna watch TV doing this.
And again, once you start advancing to the true pigeon where you're crossing, one of the things that I found is like your foot pulls back,
Oh yeah.
pull some of that pressure off. What I had to do to actually make the stretch work is I could post on my own fucking foot, and then it's still gonna ride up wherever your stretch is,
Oh, that's nice.
but you can then, it gives you something to pull back against, and you can get that good stretch back in your hips.
Well, because what happens here is because I'm too inflexible, as soon as I get here, see how my foot starts
Uh-huh,
moving?
yep.
Yeah.
Just post on it,
Yeah.
and then move
I like that.
and then move your body back to stretch that
Oh,
leg.
yeah.
There you go. But yeah, and again, I just post out on it, and then I can draw my hips back and get that good stretch, and I can hold it, keep my chest upright, do all the right things.
What time do you have to leave?
Another 10 minutes. I'm
Okay.
gonna go shower at the Y, and I got a appointment with Dante.
There's something I wanted to ask you that you did when we rolled.
This,
You got some kind of grips and you spun me around when we started on our knees. Like, we were here, started here, and then all of a sudden you grabbed something like on my collar and something on my leg, and all of a sudden I felt like I was this. You remember what you did? I want to learn that. It almost felt like, and I'm gonna screw this up,
Okay.
but it almost feels like you did, try sitting more like this. I think that's how I started. It felt, somehow you did this to me.
I know what it is. Alright. I don't know what it's called, but it's like your head goes in one direction, I drive your knee to make you spin on your butt cheek.
maybe.
Because you went to side control right away, like I couldn't get my legs
So
involved.
for here, you're kinda, he's gonna automatically engage here. So as I drive towards him, instead of driving through him, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna posture up.
Yes.
So
I was probably.
So we can do this in Giyanogi. So as I start coming in, you immediately wanna fight power,
Yeah.
drive power, grip power. So I get you back unconscious.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
So you're pushing me back so I'm on my butt and then you're just spinning me.
Yep. And then, so I was probably just using here and then there,
Yep.
so that I
That's
could drive
exactly
up.
what we did.
There you go.
So it feels like the gi was in play, but it was just you getting
Well-
off of your points of contact. So one point of contact, and they're spinning on your butt cheek.
Alright, so my question, how do I defend that?
Okay.
So the way I would have defended it is I would have given up the fact that I was sitting up, and I'm going to use my feet. So I try and use I try and think of the castle analogy in open guard. It's the best thing that made me start working open guard. So if he's in open guard, now he's in his castle.
Okay.
Where I'm trying to get to is the throne room, king's chamber, whatever the hell. But I've got to get past the moat so that I can get to the castle walls. And I've got to get past the castle walls so I can get to the inner courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have to get past the inner courtyard to drive up into the king's chamber and then work my way into that choke. I have to pass all of the layers. So if that's where I'm trying to pass, if I'm here, if I'm back here and you're already coming in, I can't worry about what you're doing here. If I can get the moat back in,
Ah,
I don't mind.
okay.
I've got you back, I pushed you back to the moat, and now I can work about, now I'm working my backside triangles, and I'm doing all of that other stuff.
So you need to get your feet back in.
I need to get my feet back in, and if I can't get my feet back in, then I need to get my knees in. I need to get my knee elbow point. You know, I build my castle wall there.
Yep.
And I'm fighting that. I don't want this underhook, but if I've got it, sometimes I can use it to my advantage. Turn like that. You know, I'm keeping you outside of where I want you. Yeah, you've still got a couple scragglers made it in,
Mm-hmm.
but I can worry about fighting that. Turn that into an old
I like the castle analogy, let me just, I'm thinking of this way, when I'm an open guard, I think I told you this is my, I look relaxed, but I'm offensively defensive.
Yeah.
So I know that I've showed you and Jason that I can scoot, he's seen me do this, I'll scoot, I'm open,
Yeah.
right? But anytime he tries to flank me, right, I'm keeping my tools in front of me, just like if we were fighting, I gotta keep my tools, my 6 tools, right, we'll say 8, 2 hands, 2 elbows, 2 knees, and 2 feet.
Yeah.
I need to face it because I'm not going to be able to face it. So as he starts flanking me,
Mm-hmm.
same thing here. So if he tries to redirect me, I'm bringing my feet, I'm using my tools to regard. I hope.
But in the situation we're talking about, when we started off like this, that you started introducing, the minute that you start trying to put pressure on me, instead of trying to fight back, I should be automatically creating connections.
There you go. That's exactly. Because you're not from that position, you can scoot back. If we're here,
I was going to say there's a.
you can scoot back, and then you're still ending up there, but now your feet are there versus being just in your knees.
Right.
So that's where I'm finding success.
Yeah.
Is,
Because I'm always the constant, I make the mistake of trying to use strength to push someone back when I really need to make connections.
connections, use your frame, connections, frames, angles.
So you're comfortable position where you're, no, where you were, just feeling the way you were. I just want you to not even look at me. Feel how stable you are in these positions. It's similar to what you would do if you were standing and getting tapped.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, by pushing, you're back on your heels if you were on the feet.
Yeah.
If you're on your side, you've got no lateral bases. The only thing that's connected is your butt cheeks and the outside of your ankles.
Mm-hmm.
But here, just making this your muscle, your relaxed position. Get to this position. Now, 1 tense up,
I'm so much more stable.
but you're not exerting any more force.
No.
You've got 3 points of contact at least. Your foot, your hip, and your hand. Or it can go to your knee, go to your butt
Ankle.
cheeks. You've got at least 3. You really have more than 3 right now. You've got 2 ankles, a hip, a knee, and 1 hand. So if I come in from this in the knee, I know that I have to push you, I have to push this knee out because you're based here. So I would push into you. That's all I'm doing, I'm pushing and twisting.
Yeah.
Well, and the other side of it is that, just really quick, take a look at your hand. Where's your hand pointing? So that's where the opposite direction that your hand is pointing is where the force is going. So you're powering yourself that way. So even if you were to take, and this is just from Tanner, if you take it and put it there,
Oh, I feel so much stronger. Yeah.
And I'll get that.
and those are the little things, one of the things that I like about Tanner teaching is that while he's teaching, every once in a while you'll catch that little thing. So if I'm here, I'm much more stable than I was here. But if all I do is move this hand 6 inches this way, now I'm so much more stable. If you were to push me straight in,
Yeah.
and I can move laterally,
He can get up on his heels and his hips move.
versus if I move back where you were,
Yeah, that's a lot hard. This is easier.
Uh-huh.
Right.
and you kind of slide it back a little bit, and like Mike was saying, this hand here looks like, oh, just relax, oh, you're just screwing around here. But it's also, like, my frame's right there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's connected to my elbow, so the things that they teach, the things that they, knee elbow connection, if I have to go down, I want to be here, because I want to own this space.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the bikini area. Try to protect your bikini area. Like he says, the inner sanctum or whatever.
yeah.
I also call it the bikini, or going to touch your bikini.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm gonna get in this fatal triangle.
But, you know, if I just stay here, and it's, again, it's one of the things that I really enjoy about learning from Tanner, is that there's a lot of those little things that I'm like, oh, if I just, from here to here, it's 6 inches a foot, but the amount of stability I get from it.
Some of the stuff is taught me, and I've been a 5-year white belt, and some things I thought I knew, he just shows me the littlest variation, and it literally goes from me not liking that technique and not ever being able to do it, to,
That's shit.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's bananas. I was gonna show you something which I learned as a white belt. Sometimes you'll find yourself in a fight like this, in that same round, so it doesn't matter where you're at, but if I'm in this position, if you block this knee and push my head in that direction, all you're gonna do is block the knee. I can never fight this. So I feel really strong when I come up on someone, I'm doing this. If he blocks my knee, pushes my head over, he doesn't even need to block my foot, he just blocks the knee. So if you get in that, like you're about to lunge,
Yeah.
one knee up, just get on one knee like this, like a Captain Morgan. You do it to me. If he's here, he feels powerful, he feels strong. And if I engage straight into his hips, fine. But then if I get his head, it's stupid easy.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that I had to do with I had to start looking for with Luke, because he plays such a pressure power game, is usually he's very much pushing forward, but his knee on belly, I found that it puts me at risk, but if I put my hand across, I start sliding that knee across, that gets me a little bit that I can start shrinking out and reguarding. Because I was trying to do this. Some seminar, they're like, nope, keep your elbow in and just use that elbow to slide it off.
Tanner, that's what, we did the belly escape, so Tanner, this is what he does.
His knee on belly is fucking vicious.
All he does is take his hand and put it right here.
Connects it
Uh-huh.
right here.
Right here, and then you put it on your side, whatever, and then just turn.
Yep.
And the knee can't stay on there, it's the funniest feeling.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'll cheat and I'll step on the
Well, but that was another thing that I learned from Tanner from Knee on Belly was the problem. I kept going here, and I kept having it pushed off this way, or the knee pushed off that way. And what I found was if I hook under the butt here, when you start to roll like that, it keeps that leg up,
I didn't think of that.
and so I can maintain that a little bit better.
And you can drive the knee down to the opposite hip and go to mount.
And that's the move is to sit knee on belly, trying to take pressure off of me. And then as they start to turn, then I can slide that over.
Yeah.
And I've moved into my mount. I can start working my back stuff.
That's why Tanner grabs the foot too.
Yeah.
Let me sit in that open mount, and
I gotta get, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you, Robbie.
So right there from that position. You know, like that. Do it again. Now I want you to. Now I want you to do it to make up with it, so I want you to feel. What's that? That's all the motion is.
Yeah.
So as you get that movement, and you get my knee going that way, and my head going this way, I want you to think of guiding this knee a little bit further, and just step into side control, because you're gonna guide this knee here, and you're not even pressuring it, you're just guiding it. So now my knees are on this side, and you go right to side control with that. Very subtle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little resistance by posturing into it. It doesn't happen. And you can feel all you do is lean forward.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything for me.
That feels great.
So now, let's say you beat me and I'm not in a real good position. I'm trying to create space while I'm standing here. I'm hoping that you don't get this knee here. That's all you really had to do. You didn't use any more strength. You were just kind of gently.
How'd you get that knee back here?
So, as you're guiding it, I framed. It's up. This disconnection allows me to. Here we go.
I like that.
So, now I'm just gonna give you a little couple entries, and then I'm gonna try to guide your knee. start moving. Now I'm really gonna try to guide your knee over. You might have to adjust. I'm not going any harder or faster. I'm just gonna go a little bit longer with that connection back.
I need to get the inside and push out.
So think of it this way. How effectively are you doing this? You're keeping my hand in my hip. Your head's down here.
Yeah,
Where's my head going?
right in my chest.
So let's work on those upper frames if you can. So, just like this, you can frame here to keep me from going here.
Mhm.
But if you keep my body from coming over, you're gonna use my forward motion, leg open up to get your knees in. Because this top hand was just hanging here.
Yeah.
You're being protected, you didn't want to get punched, you don't want to get hit,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But for jujitsu, let's get that hand up. So now you're gonna use that frame to keep your elbow elevated, and that's gonna make your hips either sway in or open up. So, come in.
Much different.
Yeah. So, and you can even think of using that frame to create space for you to get up on that elbow.
Okay.
You know where I want to go.
Yeah.
That's kind of all too really. You're not gonna always get it just right because I'm looking for it. So if we're both on our knees, we're both standing here, right? Because you're on your knees. There's gonna be this little thing where one of you's gonna get up to me. So if I get up, I start fighting to drive. There you go. That's all I want you to think of. Same position as if I'm here, and if you start trying to think of, you're gonna push my head. You don't want to push it into this, right?
No.
You have to push it this way. I have to adjust. Now, once you see this, your head's coming over my knee and my hips. There's no post here. I'm gonna have to post out. As I post, go around this foot, go to my second foot. Go to, yeah, my back. So all it really is timing past my knees. So once you feel that, if you see me here, you kind of want to push my head away. I have to be guarded. So now I've got no top frame. I'm gonna double down on this frame. What am I doing really? Essentially drive your hips forward on your knees if you want. I'm not framing on anything.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to if I get here and you do this one.
Yeah, that's right here.
I mean, I'm still not regarding. I can decide to shrimp, or I can decide to, as you push me in, try to get my knees in. They're not, oh shit, which one am I gonna go in?
I want to ask you, is there a drill to incorporate? I think my issue is I struggle doing all four things at once. So is there a drill that we can do where I can work up sweat, but also practice the coordination of my feet and arms, or legs and arms at the same time?
Are you looking to be defensive to regard?
Yes.
I've been trying to think of some way to teach this to people that I didn't realize I was doing, but I saw someone else do it. And it was for kids. That's the easiest way for me to teach people, adults too.
Yeah.
I think of the same position I was telling you this, is working on my shrimps. Trying to attack.
Why are you using the ball?
It keeps my knees in place instead of me opening up more. Moving my base in that position, I'm connected on my feet and my hips and my hand. So now you're keeping your tools in front of you. So as you remember to keep your knees there, let's not use the ball.
Okay.
I'm just trying to, hold on, touch your shoulder, touch your knee. It's the same position, so I did the ball to say, that's what I'm trying to do, but you're already doing it. You
Okay.
keep your knees in front. So we're gonna stay in the circle. Once we get to an edge, I'm gonna pivot to recenter you in the circle. That was a little faster than I wanna go right now, because I want you to just get that muscle memory. Don't let me touch your shoulder or your forehead. So all you're gonna do is, as you're moving, using that defensive hand, I'm gonna progressively move in. So you grab my wrist or give me off balance. Now we're going to switch, and I want you to try to touch my shoulder or my forehead.
At some point, you're gonna grab me and make a connection.
I'm hoping,
Yeah.
right? So that's what I want you to think of, is like, okay, you can reach in, you can get into my force field, but I'm gonna make you connect to me.
Yep.
So I'll go slow. What you were trying to do is you were reaching, you didn't expect me to reach, but as soon as I reached, I got my tools in front of me.
Yep.
I'm hoping to here somewhere. So you can still touch me, but I'm trying to keep my distance. So that's what we're gonna do, nice and slow. Try to touch, I'm gonna grab one. That's really what it is.
I have to get my feet involved. That's the hardest part of this.
But yeah, you're probably doing it more than you realize. But now we're gonna focus on getting your feet involved. Now let's say I stuff your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I lock you here. Okay, you're trying to arm drag, you're trying to control my wrist or whatever. I'm gonna twirl on the pass. We can start for it's important. I might do it next time. Blue? Yes. I came in yesterday. Yeah. Sorry. So I came in after the text message, so I did miss my appointment, and I filled out the paperwork and I rescheduled, so we're good to go. Perfect, thank you. Bye. Alright, cool.
I like this. Let's keep doing that. Why don't you just pass my guard and let me practice getting my frames and my knees back in?
Yeah. I'm still just trying to touch your forehead
Mhm.
or your shoulder. And then we'll reset. Once you feel you've gotten your frames, we're just gonna reset. Good. So you're not touching my shoulder. You can. What you're doing is you're preventing me. So I want you to be defensive with that hand,
Okay.
but you're also moving away from me at the same time. Because you can touch my shoulder and my face, but I'm being offensive and you're being defensive. And you're gonna you're gonna decide when to turn it into offensive. So when you go for reaching, you're allowing me to open up and touch your shoulder.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is wax on, wax off.
Okay.
As I'm coming in, let's try to stay in a circle. Now I want you to think peripherally.
Okay.
And if you do get a hold of me, I want you to scoot in. There you go. This is not intensive. I want you to get your hand right out. Moving your hips. What did I do? What do you think I got? Why did I get to a place where you think got vulnerable?
Stuff the leg.
I stuffed the leg, but I passed your ankles. I passed your feet. I was standing right between your knees.
So if I'm here, I need to keep you here.
Ideally. So,
Okay.
what I was going over with Jason yesterday, I don't know if you remember Jason.
Yeah. How's the shoulder?
It's still, it's better.
Okay.
So if you're standing up, you want to step in between my feet and my knees, whichever foot you go. Because now look, you're past, as Brendan said, my initial moat,
Your moat.
my walls. So you can drive me back, you can drive me left and right, or you can just try to take my back from here. So what I try to do is something I was going over with Jason yesterday. Is you come in, open guard, I'm doing this, I go shin shin. I always think of shin shin, and I hug you. So now, where are you at as far as trying to defend, trying to attack?
I can't do anything.
Right. So I'm
Like
gonna actually,
stuck.
yeah, you get stuck, I'm gonna do what's called just a little, actually, attack really. Start coming here. And then I start attacking really. So, this is why I'm thinking, if you try to touch my head and shoulders, I'm almost looking at my shin.
That's a nightmare. I like that.
So that's what I try to do stop, right? And when he doubles down, he feels me going for that, he drives his hips forward, he gets his feet past my hips, and he's like, ugh, take it.
He stacks it.
Right? So he's stacked, he's driving, and as soon as he feels me engaging any connection, he's like, oh, screw that.
Yeah.
He's never bent over here. His posture is useless grips.
And it sucks when you get your knee on against him when he does that. Like, come there. That's what he did to me. I was like here, and he moved my foot, and all of a sudden I was like this. I'm like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, so it's the same position as far as like on passing. Get to a side frame or shrink or roll away. Yeah. But that's what I'm trying to do against him. He's just good at it.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with him being effective, right? He's been training over 12 years.
Oh yeah, he's a beast.
So,
And he uses his physical attributes. I mean, he's big dude.
mhm.
16, 240 or whatever he is.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's who's gonna attack you, right?
Yeah.
Bigger, stronger, better, younger, faster, richer, whatever. whatever,
No.
whatever you value is gonna be who attacks you, right?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, most of the time, a person that is much smaller than you, unless they have a weapon, they're not going to attack you. So you have to trade for people that are bigger than you.
So, yeah, and I'm pretty heavy, I'm low against something I know, but I also try to be cognizant of where I'm being heavy, like those gorilla and chimpanzee moves, they're really hard for me to do.
Yeah.
But what I try to do is be mobile as far as, I might be able to squat down and do this, but I'm trying to be on the balls of my feet. And so if I do lean forward, my head is a little too far forward. I try to constantly be on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm almost at a lateral position, so when I do the gorilla box, again, I can't go fists down, it hurts my wrists, hurts my shoulders, just behind stuff. I get with the kids, I'm doing as best I can. I can't do the fist down.
Yeah.
And then the chimpanzee walks, you know, I can try to get those, get warmed up. But the same thing with this, when I'm doing these, I'm trying to think if my hips are gonna be under my head. So push it. Such a- Sure. So you're keeping your tools ahead of you, whereas I forgot what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm trying to pass your guard. Now you've created frame. Shit, now I gotta adjust that. Right? Try to leg drag, you double down on the frame. When I do the heel toss, you frame your hip down.
Yep.
Those are
The biggest thing I learned today, and I don't know how, I probably learned this and I just forgot it, but try to get my feet back between me and you right away.
this is why I tell people, why would you fight on your feet like this? Like, why, there's no time I would ever fight like poor stance in that I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you wouldn't flank yourself.
My knees are ready to come into the game.
Yeah.
Same thing here. My knees are ready to come in the game.
Yeah.
So-
there.
Yeah.
Now, explain, when a person actually gets past my knees and hips, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're in this position.
Right.
My objective, my protection, if I leave this open, you can get side control.
Right.
So mine is to try and get to here.
Yeah. If I'm going to regular traditional side control, right, and I'm going to get my knee under your butt cheek and your knee under my knee under your deltoid,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to try to flatten you out. If you
Okay.
stay on your side, even let's say I passed your knee, just like to stay on your side. Post here, and then what I want you to do is think of posting on that ball of your foot, keeping this connected to my hip. If you can't re-guard, I want you to stay connected to my hip.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go here. I'm not quite past, but I'm not quite there. And I want you to stay on that shoulder with this shoulder elevated.
Okay.
The more I push on your shoulder, the
More
allows
space occurs.
you to do that. Right? If you post on this foot, that allows you to get mobility to regard.
Mm-hmm.
But if you post on this foot, you bring this close in, you've removed this connection, and I'm gonna drop my hip in here. So this is why it's important to do this. And if you feel that I'm gonna pass, straighten this leg, keeping this close, shrimp your ass away. I'm gonna shrimp towards the front window. Now you can go back up.
Okay.
So, the things that I think you need to understand is once I'm passing your knees, and the pass is inevitable.
Yeah.
You know, you go, I know where this is going. I want you to stay on your side. Face me on your side. And decide whether you need to re-engage or hip out. And the more I drive to flatten your shoulder blades, the more I'm gonna allow you that hip mobility.
How are you preventing from being German flies? Power from here, kickstand?
Yeah, that's why I always say make it a habit, come up to that elbow.
Yeah.
Even
Okay.
there, yeah. Or if I've smashed you and you're on the outside of your elbow with your elbows tucked in, you can try to fight, bring your elbow back behind you to yeah. And as you're doing that, you're gonna frame against me, and it's gonna allow you to bring that elbow. So, yeah, if you can do that, I'd be surprised that's not a real strong, you're not real strong at doing this.
Yeah, I usually do.
So, and that's what you did, yeah, you came up to your elbow.
Yeah.
It's almost like a hip bump sweep, but I want you to think of it this way, if I start stuffing you, and you're protecting your bikini area, keeping your elbow in tight, right? And you keep this frame connected, as I push here, you're gonna drive into me, keeping this foot close to the mat, right? I'm driving, you're staying connected with this, and I'm trying to drop my hip. That's gonna give you more pressure, give you here, bring this elbow in, and then try to build up that elbow if you can. If you can.
Yeah.
If it's not possible and you feel more comfortable reaching out, reach out.
Still. Yeah, this is something that I struggled with last time we worked on it. I think what it is that once I'm here, whatever, and we get past this, if I let myself go flat, I'm screwed. I have to catch myself.
Sitting right here, and I'm already at a deficit on the back, in the pass. I guess I would start creating space, bring my feet up. Because what I'm suggesting you do is this. Get to your side, right here. This is like, I'm already losing the position, but you can see my knees connected to your hip. I'm framing here. So this isn't really preventing you from passing. What I'm trying to do is reconnect here, but this foot's here. So if you push into me, I'm keeping my shoulder off the mat. Because this is what I don't want. So as you push up, I'm here. Now I'm like starting from
It's
the
impossible
angle,
to recover, yeah.
right? So I can, let's say you do, I'll start working these little baby frames, I'll start throwing this in the throat. As I start feeling this upward pressure, I'm leaning my shoulder forward. And I'm gonna use this to create space. I'm trying to create a little bit of space, and extend my body out, keep my foot in.
Got it?
You know? So, I see what you're saying as far as, what do I do when I start passing? Well, instead of thinking of framing with his bottom foot, bottom hand, bring on top, posting here. It's almost similar to that open guard thing I was saying. So as you start pushing and passing on this position, and I think you're past this hip, I'm almost stepping here with this hand. So I'm not framing with this one as much as I'm keeping it in play. So if you bring your knees in, I'm not really framing on you. I'm trying to double down this way. So it's that foot, it's this foot, and I'm moving on my shoulder. But I got a frame here for me to keep me from flattening out. So if I don't, what I'm just doing here, now you just drive your chest forward, my shoulders are on the mat.
Yeah.
This foot doesn't do anything. I'm not able to do anything. So now I'm gonna really frame on your legs as you're passing with the bottom part. And then I'll just sprawl. If I'm stuck here and you're denying me that with an overhook and you can't get that moving,
Yeah.
what I want you to do is think of kicking this top leg up in the air. So I'll show you what it feels like, and then I'll show you without you.
Okay.
Here, I'm losing. I don't want you to drive my shoulder to the mat, right?
What the?
So I've got my elbow out, and it's so much that knee from the back. I don't fight for the hook, so just get my knee over there. Right here, if you're driving me to the mat, and my elbow's under your armpit, I tend to do that. And at the same time, I'm gonna kick this foot out to have me sit up. So I'm gonna go.
Oh, okay.
So you're flattening, you're trying to get your hips past. So fine, you wanna go north? So I'm just getting past your knees here. Just past. Can't get this knee shield, and you're not giving me a center. So I'm trying to connect you. You feel like you can't frame, you can't regard. I'm gonna push, and I just want you to reach for the sky. There you go. You're almost setting up to get it to that elbow.
Okay.
So as I'm trying to laterally flatten your shoulder, you're driving my direction, my momentum north to your head. With that underhook, shuck, you just kind of windshield like that. So you're preventing me from connecting my hips,
And you're driving my body up your torso, but you're really coming out the back door to set up the back attack.
Okay.
So it's not your head, just your overhead, just your arm. Your head will follow. Yeah, your head will follow. And get to that right now.
Got it. Okay. So I'm just trying to get this over.
Yeah, and that's, right now, I just want you to get over and pause there.
Okay.
Drive here. Just the elbow, your elbow's pinched in here, I'm driving this here, you might feel this a lot. Try to drive. Yeah, that's all you do, shoving almost.
Okay.
Lead with your elbow, and then that hand will pull out. Yeah.
Got it. So from here.
Okay, and now once you get that, I want you to get up to that elbow. So pin that chicken wing on you, try to draw you from that. That's it. Do that a few times. And then you look up to your knees and you're driving it.
Yeah.
You're no longer, so you can grab my hips, you can go to seatbelt, you can walk around, so.
You know what's funny you say this? Because one of my closest friends, he's a black belt. When you pass the side control, he doesn't even try to frame here. He does. As soon as he loses it, the short on me, hand is right here.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
he doesn't care about this. He's protecting this.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get wrong position, he's out.
Yeah. It's, it's coming out to dogfight, it was this, and the way I prevented it was,
Yeah.
but you're so far south to my hips. I'm lost.
Yeah, I like that. Shooting it over.
Yeah.
And I'm working to the elbows.
Yeah. So, to review what you were talking about, what Brandon did to you, you were on your heels or your butt.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what I'm gonna do with this is, I'll do this a lot, I'll just stay connected, and I'll move around, and start to engage you. Push your frame. Keep going. That's the timing you're gonna get. You might end up in half guard, but you're already going, hey, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
What I end up doing a lot too, what a lot of us do, I'm comfortable in auto side control, I know I'm safe there.
Yeah.
So I let them get 3 more steps than they need to. And so now what we're doing is we're actively slowing them down.
Yeah.
Gordon Ryan says that he is only good because he makes people more athletic, less athletic,
Yes.
which makes sense. I'm like, okay, like Brendan knows more wrestling, even though he says he sucks. I know enough to give him a tough time, but when he gets in a position, I gotta scramble.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he's gonna chase me, so that's the biggest thing I think of is not the white belt scramble, like I don't know where I'm going. Is try to get to a position that I know I'm familiar with. You're familiar with the frame and rear guard. You're familiar with now wrestling up or punching up to get to dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things you can do from standing too. So if we're in the standing position and we're going here and I'm fighting for inside grips, you get a little inside, just pull your elbow in, pull your elbow deep under my armpit. So what I'm saying is this, when you get here, I get here.
Mm-hmm.
And if I get my elbow here, and you're driving,
Oh wow.
it's the same position. So if I'm fighting for inside, and you get inside on me, boom, right? I want you to lead with your elbow. So see, you again want, and it's okay because it's what we do. We go like this,
Mm-hmm.
but just say you're inside and I'm driving. You're driving with that left shoulder. You kind of disengage to pummel this way. All my elbow did was go from here, the collar tie, which I feel you're driving, down. I let the elbow.
Okay.
It's the same position from this framing position we were just doing. You pin me, right? So I'm gonna pin you, be with the elbow. Now I'm almost reaching for the neck. So when I do this, as you're driving in, again, I'm not walking backwards. What I'm doing is stepping in, I'm reaching for your head.
Well, you're flanking me at the same time.
Yeah, so
Got
I'm
it.
taking that step. So you're gonna want to turn into me, and what I want to do is follow your hip. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but let's just say I'm being real strong here, and I'm just driving, leaving that elbow, drive up, and then keep finished. That might be the scramble, where from here, you can grab my elbow and drive your hips over me, and I'm gonna fall.
Okay.
So, you're gonna fight for a second. You get an elbow, and I want you to pummel from the other side. body lock. Here, single leg. So, try to get those elbows in. It's like that. Straight rotate.
I like it with my left better,
I
actually.
was gonna say, I'll felt a little smoother,
Yeah.
but don't worry about it. You're gonna do both sides. Alright, I'm gonna go start.
Yeah, because I'm used to being left leaning fighting.
Cool.
So it's like better for me.
If you feel that from here you pummel in, and then I know that you're gonna go to my head, so go ahead and do this, and I posture up, overhook my shoulder, gable grip, and drive me down the mat. Now you got a shoulder lock, because my thing is I'm gonna posture up and try to frame on your face. Right, so come here. You got wicked control there.
Yeah.
You know, and you could drive me to go this way, or you can just steamroll me back, because I'm not able to catch that. If you elevate my shoulder,
Oh yeah, if I get underneath you.
right? So here.
Yeah.
That's and I'm exaggerating the motion, but I want you to feel that as I'm gonna do it to you. Come in here. Boom. Posture up. I can't get you. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for that weird show. No, but you can feel the control. So now if you try to get away, turn out your hip.
This is soft, yeah. Because I can't go down, I can't go away, and if you really want to be mean, you could pork my shoulder.
I'm buying time because really, how effectively can you punch me there?
Yeah.
You can't kick me in the nuts because I'm pumping your leg.
Yeah.
So as we're coming in, you pummel in with that left hand. I posture up. I can't frame. I'm at your mercy. And what you can do is in a situation where you're against the wall, and you get that shoulder lock position, keep a wide base, and then just control me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I start trying to turn into you, turn my face. Now you don't want to get so close so you're not moving. Now you can just control me.
Yep.
Or you can smother me with your hip, get your right hip on me. Say, hey, stop resisting. Now look, my shoulder's going that way, my hips are going that way.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to resist. I just want you to control me. Hey! Now talk to me. Stop. I don't want to hurt you. Let me move it up to where I'm tired, so if I think I'm gonna get up this way, you stay ahead of me, straddle my foot. If I go this way, you stay against the mat. So all you're doing is letting the mat help you control. Let me go. Fuck you. Let me go.
Yeah. You'll be tired in 15 seconds.
And you're exerting force, but not as much as I am.
No, and I didn't even put pressure on you. I mean, I could feel it. If I was you and I really want to put weight on you.
Yeah, you got and I'm strong. I got a good base, but
15 seconds, you're pooped.
so I'm thinking in law enforcement, I'm gonna do that to them. Hey, dude, seriously, just stop.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's roll.
Oh, get a sweat going.
let's go.
Trying to get over it.
No, you did the right thing. I just got you in a surprise punch up.
Yeah.
I let you pass. You did the Von Fluke. You just kind of sunk in.
I was going with the long fluke and I was just like, ah.
And all of a sudden, yeah, I get what I was about. Don't worry about it.
That was good.
Exactly. Von Fluke right here. Give me that shoulder. Keep going, keep going.
Why did I just do?
Your right shoulder, left shoulder in the back. Good. Chest, chest to chest. Close your eyes better than on your back.
That's good. Hey, that's fine. I like flowing with you. Let me work. Thank you.
But, I mean, you're seeing the threats, you're seeing attacks, you're seeing what we went over today.
Yeah, 5 years is coming back a little bit at a time.
Yeah, for sure.
been 2 years since I've trained again.
But that's a good flow, constant, like, I'm not giving you anything, I'm letting you get in positions where you see opportunities,
Yeah.
and then I'm trying to defend.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna get. You know, I'm not going muscle for muscle, I know we're strong.
Like, you're stronger than I am.
No, but that's what I mean, like, we're both strong, but I don't think you ever felt like I had an overpower with the Kimura.
No.
What I had was control.
Yeah.
What I was worried about was having your hand, I had your wrist a lot of times. I feel more powerful when I'm controlling your wrist. Below your wrist, on your fatty portion of your hand as opposed to here.
Well, and I know that at one point you had it, and if you would have just, you could have had me tap, but you let me work to see if I would work out of it, and I went to north south.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But, if you got a few minutes, I'm
Yeah.
gonna show you something. I will threaten the Kimura all day long. So, you can think of this, when I'm powerful with the Kimuras, I'm on my side. Oh, I'm doing this scissor motion. I'm not powerful here. I'm definitely not powerful here. So what I try to do is just keep it down to my navel.
On your side.
When it went over and I was on yours, and you were north-south, I was trying to keep it on your navel.
Okay.
So I'm gonna here, trying to bring it down. And for you, there's a lot of times when I was in half guard, I was just like this, ready to catch your arm.
Yeah.
You may see that. And if you see this, as soon as you feel me doing this, I want you to think of posture your head up. Just posture it right now. Okay? That's all I want you to do. And as you do that, I want you to limp arm out. So as soon as you see me fishing here, pull your elbow straight back and posture your head up.
Okay.
That's all I want you to do. You're limp arming out. So as I go here, as soon as you identify this, I want you to posture up. You didn't posture up. I want you to posture up. You lose no position here. Now what you did is you remove this target from my sight. I want you to cross face me with that elbow pit under my head. Just get under my neck. So as you come up here, cross face and go right to that. That's what I want your natural instinct to be. As soon as you feel me going here, posture up, cross face. Okay? But if I trap this, what I like to do is I like to make you feel comfortable. And then I'll trap this. I'm not even going over your hand yet. I'm trying to trap this into your hip pocket.
Yep.
Okay? But that makes this susceptible where I can pull it out.
My
Okay.
elbow.
Yeah. So the more you drive in with your shoulder, right now you can limp arm out. You can posture up and limp arm out. You lose no position.
Yeah.
Okay? But where you're running danger is when I start overhooking and I'm almost connecting to my own wrist. So that I'm overhooking, I'm almost connecting here.
Okay.
Then what I want you to do is think of bail on this position, stay connected here. Bring this hand up. You can make a fist or you make it like a gable, like a guillotine grip. Bring this up to your heart. What that's gonna do is it's gonna create this tension on my elbow. Now my elbow is up for you to attack, or you're gonna start tweaking my arm to go to north-south. So let's just say I get here and you're staying that good connection to my chest. You're trying to flatten my shoulder to the mat. As soon as you feel this, I want you to posture up right there. Deny me all that guillotine posture up and drive my shoulder into the mat. And now you can either go north-south or you can just wait for me to just not do anything because right now my arm's gonna hurt. So I'm gonna finish it in the sense that I'm gonna make this connection. You're gonna be like, oh shit, he's got it, right?
Yeah.
Bring it up to your heart, double down, make it 2 against 1. Now posture up. It's gonna hurt you, but it's gonna hurt me more. This is where I lose it. If I don't let go of this, you're gonna arm bar me or Kimura me or Americana me.
Yeah.
So I want you to drive your chest into my shoulder and then fucking hurt my shoulder. Keep going. No, don't let up. Don't let up. Keep your hand together. Keep your hands together. And now go to north-south.
Yeah.
Or you can transition to a top Kimura. You can, or you can just go to the other side and go to arm bar. But right now you're just defending Kimuras.
Yep.
Fishing my posture up, cross this. There's no Kimura for me now. Now I get this in here. Do that every time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Early defense, posture up, then if I'm not cross face. You gotta finish with the cross face, I'm just gonna re-attack the Kimura.
Dude, I like Nogi so much better. He is so slow and like forearms are burning and
But they're good to know.
oh yeah.
So these positions will still work in your knee. Because what am I doing? You're emphasizing base and posture and flattening your shoulders.
Yep.
Still gonna work in knee.
Yep.
Everything we did today works in knee.
Yeah, it does. That's
In that bomb fluke, like I said, what I did is I overhooked the head. And so that what you didn't see is I smacked his fist in so I could
I
go.
walked right into that. Like I felt like as I was moving, I was trying to go more and more, and I'm like, why is this getting tighter? And oh crap.
Yeah, it's, the more you try the Von Fluke, the tighter my grip is.
Yeah. The deeper I was trying to sink it in, I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening, but I gotta tap.
And I don't think you felt me squeezing your head.
No,
I would stay connected.
it was this.
This was in your throat.
Yeah.
So what I did, and you don't have to get connected, you can see, as I know you're gonna pass, I overhook your head. So you know instinctively, he's an idiot. He's gonna Americana himself. I'm gonna go to the side, and I keep this to my chest. That's what I'm trying to do. And the more you sink, you're falling into this you're falling right into this perpendicular fist.
That's what I thought.
You're like, I'm gonna choke him. Your shoulder never touched my head. Is that yours or mine?
That's mine, I think.